So, like, oh, nice little blanket you're sitting on. Where's mine?
I mean, do you want one?
Not really. I'm just wondering why you're messing with the colour scheme.
I mean, because I was wearing it last week, remember? And then I just haven't moved it
Gotta
since.
have all this red. Gotta have an all red background.
Oh yes, because everybody loves the red.
Obviously. Hello everybody and welcome to Working Title Productions. My name is Ben, his name is Ed, and today we're finally getting around to our X-Men Apocalypse review. Yay! We finally saw it.
Yeah.
And we'll keep it spoiler free at the start, and then we'll probably give you a spoiler warning point, at which point we'll just sort of dive into our entire thoughts of the movie. Yeah, first things first, I've got to say, this movie's been copying a fair bit of flack. Not Batman v Superman levels, but there are people who have been disappointed with the movie, and we agreed. Like, the moment we walked out of that theatre,
We were just like, yeah,
that's
what are they
not
talking about?
justified at all.
Yeah.
Like, the movie is good.
Yeah.
It's really good. It's not as good as Days of Future Past or X-Men 2, but it's a really solid movie, and it's a natural progression of the story. So, like, it was just confusing. I'm not really sure where the hate's coming from. I'm not even hate, but I'm not really sure where the negative opinions are coming from. But
I think it is a movie though for X-Men fans.
yeah, that's probably fair. Like the original Days of Future Past is a film that takes those superhero characters and superhero elements and places them in a world that's kind of like an alternate history to our own. It feels very much like a real world place. It just happens to have mutants in it. Apocalypse feels a lot more like a comic book movie in the traditional sense. There's a lot more of those elements that you would find in the comic books. But at the same time, you still believe it as a progression from what happened in those previous films. So yeah, like it's just a solid film. I'm not really sure what people's problems were with it.
Yeah.
Straight out the bat. Yeah, so like obviously there are things that are wrong with the movie. Do you want to do wrong things first?
I mean, I don't think
Do
the
wrong
things that are
things
wrong with it are necessarily spoilers, so yeah, we can talk about it. The film sucks.
Well, he doesn't suck.
Yeah, but he's not great either.
No, you're right. Of the main characters in the movie, he is the weakest.
Yeah,
he's the strongest. He's the most powerful.
No, he isn't.
In terms of superpowers.
No, he isn't.
There he is.
No,
It takes
he isn't.
all of them to beat him.
Yeah, no, but when you think about it, he's not.
Okay, fine. Without
That's
spoiling it, they're not ready yet. So at that point in time, he's the most powerful. But so he's the most powerful, but his character, so like what makes him interesting, is the weakest of all the main characters.
He's just very one note, just speaks a lot.
I've returned for you, my brothers and sisters.
This world shall be yours. Like
the things you hear in the trailer, they're not the only things he says, but
it's more of the same.
It's more of the same. It's very much one-dimensional.
Yeah.
Like,
and he's like,
if you thought Zod from Man of Steel was one-dimensional, you've got another thing coming. This guy is one-dimensional.
Yeah.
He's just sort of there. But
he
works.
But they
He
did
serves
explain his
the
powers
purpose.
well, but
They did.
he was also missing a lot of powers that people really enjoy from like the comics and the animated series.
Yeah, like I believe growing is something that he can actually do in the comics. Here,
he's got ridiculous list of powers.
Yeah.
Here he's just very much, I can hit things real hard and mutate
I
elements
can hit
and
things
stuff,
real hard.
and I can do things with the mind, with the thing.
If he can dissolve, everything.
He's got
Why does he need Magneto to dissolve everything?
There's probably a limit to what he can do.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, you know what I would say? I'd say because he only dissolves things he can see, whereas Magneto feels metal, so he can go right to the core of the earth. I think, and I'm not trying to justify the fact that he is one-dimensional, but a lot of it comes down to the fact that they're trying to use him as a vessel for Magneto, for the most part, which we'll get to in a bit. But yeah, I feel like something had to give, and unfortunately, they chose to make Apocalypse more one-noted to make room for all the other character arcs that happen in this film.
I mean, I don't necessarily think that they wanted to make him one note. It was kind of just like, well, this is kind of all we can do with it at this point in time.
Yeah.
We're introducing so many new characters and continuing the stories of so many other characters.
When your villain is essentially God.
Mm.
Yeah, it makes it difficult. Another thing, like I think we've got all the same negative points.
And then the other weakness is kind of a spoiler because it's related to the plot, so we can't really talk about it.
Yeah, we'll get to that later. The pacing is a little off at times. Like it's
I reckon the
forth
second act is maybe 15 minutes.
Yeah,
it's pretty crazy. Like,
and I'm like all for like toying with the idea of the structure of the film and not having first act's the first, third, second that's the second, third act's the third. Like,
yeah, but it's weird.
I'm all for messing with that and toying it around. Like this film's third act is like half the movie, but
yeah, because like the first act is like mass exposition.
Yeah.
And like kind of like setting up the actual story of it, and then the second act is that weird middle bit that we don't like. Well, well, there's parts of it we like, but like it's ultimately it's a bit weird.
It's unnecessary.
And then the final act is like half the movie. It's like, got to be at least an hour that final fight, and it's just
I don't know
fighting.
that it's a whole hour, but like it's a good chunk.
It's pretty
more than you would traditionally expect from a third act. And yeah, so like I'm all for that idea of toying with it, but it didn't quite pull off here. It's just a little off at times. It's not bad pacing, but it's not excellent pacing either. Like we noticed it watching the movie.
Yeah. Something I forgot to mention when I was talking to you yesterday about it. I feel like the action was a little bland. Like it's a shame coming off movies like Deadpool, like Batman v Superman and Civil War. Like obviously they've got like a hard act to follow, but like it just felt very like things hitting each other. Like they used their powers, but and stuff, but like it just wasn't as like it had its moments. Like obviously the Quicksilver sequence that they have another one was fantastic, but like I don't know, just like especially in that final hour, it was very much just like they're kind of using their powers, but ultimately they're just hitting each other a lot. Really.
Yeah. Definitely.
So yeah.
But
it was certainly it was watchable. Though.
It's interesting because I watched
terrible.
Days of Future Past the other day with Samuel,
and that doesn't have great action either.
Well, it doesn't need it. Actually,
No,
it doesn't necessitate the story.
I agree.
Like in Days of Future Past, there isn't a lot of action, but at the same time, that movie didn't need a lot of action either. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's very, very tense. It's like they went for the same thing here, but there isn't quite as much tension or emotional attachment as there was in Days of Future Past. Yeah.
And that leads into another negative point that we can't talk about because it's also a spoiler.
Okay. The big issue I have with the movie, I understand you've got to market your franchise, and that with Hugh Jackman leaving at the end of Wolverine 3, that you've got to have someone else to step up to the mantle, someone that everyone recognises. But the way they've got Jennifer Lawrence showing up more and more as just Jennifer Lawrence instead of actually in the blue Mystique suit, it's something that's really starting to get to me. Like, First Class, no issue. Days of Future Past, a couple of people brought it up. I thought it was fine. They explained it really well in that movie. In this movie, you can't ignore it. Like, they're just making excuses to have it be Jennifer Lawrence and not Jennifer Lawrence in the blue suit as Mystique. And, like, they sort of, like, give you an explanation within character dialogue in the movie as to why she's in human form. But it goes so thoroughly against everything the character of Mystique, Raven, whatever you want to call her, has been in the last two movies. And I feel like they're just doing it to use Jennifer Lawrence as a marketing tool for the franchise. And it's kind of taking away from what the character is.
I mean, I think in parts it was that I was like, "Ooh, that's interesting." Like the part where they were all knocked out, and when she was knocked out, she went back to Mystique form. But then when she woke up, she immediately went back to Raven.
Yeah.
Blonde hair, white skin form. So there I was kind of like, ooh, but like I think everywhere else, like you can kind of understand like that in this movie, Mystique doesn't want to be recognized.
Yeah, I can understand it for the most part, not wanting to be recognised, but it's just it happens too often in the movie.
Yeah, I agree. Like even when she's in like safe places for mutants, like she's still
is Raven rather than as Mystique.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna use Raven is human form. Mystique is when she's all blue. That's what our key is. Yeah, that's the way we're doing it.
Yeah,
yeah. It's probably not accurate, but that's how we're doing it. Just for the sake of simplicity. I think without going into spoilers, are they all the issues we had?
Yeah, apart from the other couple of ones that that are basically spoilers for the movie.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, other than that, like so much good stuff. Like the returning cast is great. Michael Fassbender, once again, gives an absolute powerhouse performance as Magneto.
Most definitely.
There are some great emotional beats in the movie.
James McAvoy, he's not given a hell of a lot to do as Professor X, but he takes it with both hands and he really makes the most of it. And when him and Eric Lanshaw, aka Magneto, are together, you feel the chemistry. Like they are like brothers. They're not agree. Yeah, exactly. They do not agree at all, but they're still so close as friends, and they just want the best.
And I love that final scene as well.
Absolutely.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that was perfect.
And the new cast is really great as well. Like, some of them are given a lot more to do than others, which leads to them giving strong performances. But
what's her face from Game of Thrones does a solid job as
Sophie Turner as Jean Grey is fantastic.
Yeah, she's really good.
Whoever plays
Scott Summers,
really
can't
good.
Remember his name either.
Really
He's really solid. Okay, Cyclops. I don't know.
Yeah.
People are going to get so confused. There's the actor's name, there's the character's name, there's the character's alias.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot.
Dude who plays Nightcrawler is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's not a lot for him to do, but he does it well. You can't detract him. The girl that plays Storm, it's nice to see Storm with a proper accent instead of whatever Halle Berry was doing in the original trilogy. She's just sort of floating in and out of an accent. It's just like, what? Yeah, this girl really seems to be nailing it, like a more traditional.
Like that's because she's actually from Africa.
Yeah,
this actress. So.
Exactly. And how great's that?
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah,
they're casting properly. They're giving young actors and minority actors a chance. So it's really good to see. About like a robot.
And then Olivia Munn as Psylocke.
Yeah, absolutely.
That happened.
It was a thing that happened.
She didn't really do much. She was kind of just there.
Pretty much.
And same with
punching
the guy who plays Angel. More like slicing shit.
Oh yeah, Angel. He was like, I was jacked up for Angel, and then he was just sort of there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, and none of them are bad. Like, they're all good. It's just that. Yeah,
there's so much happening in the movie that like you said, there's nothing for them to.
Some of them have arcs. Some of them are just there. Yeah, what am I forgetting? I like Jennifer Lawrence. I complained that she's not in the blue suit enough, but she does a great job. And then, we need to talk Quicksilver scene. If you thought the Quicksilver scene from Days of Future Past was incredible, which it was, like again, watching it just a couple of days ago, it's so freaking awesome. But this one that we get in Apocalypse is so much better. It just takes it to another level, and I like the song of this one better. It's just as personal taste.
Is it better? I can't remember what song they used.
Sweet dreams made of these. Yeah. Gotta stop singing so we don't get a copyright strike.
You do know I'm joking when I say that. We're not actually going to get a copyright strike by singing.
I'm genuinely worried.
Ben, we've got like 40 subscribers. Just calm down.
Yeah,
you'll be fine.
Anyway, like I thought that was a better choice than Time in a Bottle. Not a better choice.
Yeah, but
Time in a Bottle worked better. Time in a Bottle was perfect when it was used, but I just really like that song.
Yeah,
they used in Apocalypse. It's just more to my taste.
Yeah,
it's an exceptional scene again. Like God knows how long it took them to film that, but good God, was it cool? Like,
Yeah, it was
so
very
cool.
obviously CGI.
Yeah.
Like, I was watching
yes,
it,
at times it was
and
very
I was just like,
obvious.
wow, this is, like, not great, but it's still hilarious.
These explosions should not be happening this way. Okay.
But it was still hilarious.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, and like, how else are you gonna even portray that? And then he gets another chance later. Quicksilver is actually there for the showdown. It's not like in Days of Future Past where they just tell him to stay home with his mum so that he can't conveniently solve all of the problems of the movie. He's there in Apocalypse, and he's actually doing things. And he has his own story arc, which isn't ever really quite resolved. I would have liked it to have been resolved. We'll get to that in the spoiler part. But, yeah. It would have been nice to see.
It's the longest non-spoiler section that we've ever done.
I know, but yeah, it is good.
Because no one's seeing this movie. It's not doing very well.
Which is really sad, because we can't understand what the negative reception is about. We really like this movie.
Yeah. I mean, I can understand negative reception, because, like, if you don't like comic book movies and if you don't like the action movies, then, like, yeah.
I just remembered another minor.
But otherwise, it's a cool blockbuster.
One nitpicky bad thing we should probably point out is that this is supposed to be 20 years after First Class.
Oh yeah.
Which was only filmed 5 years ago. Released 5 years ago.
No, it's only a decade after Days of Future Past. Days of Future Past was 70s. This is 80s.
Yeah.
What, 10
we
years?
went from 73 to 83.
Yeah, 10 years.
Yeah, but First Class was the 60s.
Yeah.
It was.
Oh, you're talking about that character.
Yeah, it was 1963.
I want to say.
It was.
I can't remember.
So it goes from 63
Whatever the
to
Cuban
73
Missile
to
Crisis
83.
was.
We should really know. We did this in history.
Cuban Missile Crisis? No,
Yeah.
I didn't. I didn't do
Year
modern.
11 history. Oh, yeah,
I
sorry.
didn't do modern.
Yeah, my bad. I should know.
Yeah.
Oh well. But yeah, it's been roughly 20 years between First Class and Apocalypse. And
Also, this character was in the trailer, so you're allowed to talk about her. And Moira McTaggart has aged probably 5 years.
No, she hasn't even. Like, that's the thing. Like, it's been 5 years between the release of those films. This trilogy has taken place to produce over the course of 5 years. But in the timeline of the movies, it's been 20. You buy Eric Lansher, aka Magneto. You can see how with James McAvoy, aka Professor X, Charles Xavier, it's somehow been 20 years and he still looks like that. Especially when you get to the end of the film, you get to the end of the film and it's like, oh yeah, that is 20 years, but it's because of something very specific that we can't talk about because spoilers. Moira McTaggart, however you say that name,
That's exactly how you say it.
like she doesn't even look like she's aged 5 years. Like
They give her some like wrinkles and stuff.
They do in some shots, but then in other shots it's not there.
Yeah, it's true actually.
Like when she's in Egypt doing her CIA things, nothing. Like photo model, supermodel, perfect. It's just like, how am I meant to believe it's been 20 years when like Charles says it in the movie, she hasn't aged a day, Hank. And it's just like, yes.
Because we ran out of money in the budget.
Yeah, exactly. Even Kylo can't handle it. It's just like, what is going on? And like, I appreciate that it's only been 5 years and you can only make actors age so much. But like, hers is just completely not believable. And it's a nitpick because continuity, schmontinuity, it doesn't really destroy the story or the plot or the characters. It's a nitpick thing, but it's there and I felt the need to address it. And I'm probably way too passionate about that, but whatever. Okay. Good things we can talk about before going into spoilers.
We've talked about a lot of good things.
Yeah. Great fan service in this movie. If you are a comic book fan, you're going to enjoy this movie. There's great fan service. Like you see...
we see like...
You see the school full and proper. Like, you finally actually get to see kids in the school learning to control their powers. James McAvoy as Charles Xavier has fully embraced the role of Professor X. That was a mouthful to say. Hank McCoy is there. He's a professor as well. it's like your living, breathing world. We've finally got our X-Men universe. It's back on track, and it's actually a school. It's wonderful. Yeah, I think that's it. We want to dive into spoilers now.
Yep. Alright, so from now we will be spoiling major plot points.
Farewell, those of you that
X-Men
could not
Apocalypse.
see the movie yet. The last thing we'll say to you before you leave is go see the movie. We really enjoyed it. If you're not a comic book fan, that's fine.
Maybe
you still
give it a
go.
pass.
No, I wouldn't even say that. I would say
No, a comic book movie fan. If you're not a comic book movie fan, give it a pass.
Oh, if you're not a comic book movie fan, yeah, give it a pass, because this doesn't change anything. This isn't Deadpool, which breaks new ground. It's more of the same. If you don't read comic books and you're just sort of into the movies, still go see this. This is still wonderful. It's a lot of fun. If you are really into comic book movies and comic books, then why haven't you seen this yet? Why? You probably saw it before we did.
Well, so this is really funny, because during the whole lead up to this movie, you didn't like the trailers at all.
No, I was still keen for the movie, but the trailers just didn't impress me much.
Well,
Which I think
cool.
I wouldn't be surprised if that has something to do with the poor reception, actually. But the movie itself, it's wonderful. So, yeah, from now on, it's spoilers. Go get out of here. Alrighty, Ed. Let's dive into the big issue that involves spoilers.
Oh my god,
Wolverine.
that Act 2.
Yeah, everything to do with Act... Well, it's
Not
not all of Act 2, but for the most part. Once Stryker comes in and just captures all of the people... All the people? Yeah, he captures pretty much the main cast. And he just takes them off to his base. Because, there was a mental pulse, and it came directly from here. Ha ha ha. I'm like, you shouldn't even have instruments that can measure that. Like what instrument can pick up a mental pulse from a telepath? Like, the whole idea of a telepath is that you can't tell what they're doing to someone else. Like, how does the government suddenly monitor this and trace it right to the bloody School for the Gifted? Like, it's...
That's not even my main issue with it, just like the fact that like we do have like this like...
Well, yeah, it's an
just this
excuse to
random
bring
Stryker-
him there so that Stryker can
subplot.
take them to his base so they can set free Wolverine.
But
That
like
is
there were some cool
really
things
it.
that I liked about it. Wolverine, Hugh Jackman has finally got like the full mane now.
Yeah.
Instead of just like the cool like thing.
Yeah,
He's
that's
now
true.
got like a big mane like he did at the start of the Wolverine.
Well, I have a feeling
That's
that'll be
cool.
gone. Like, in Wolverine 3.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But like, and then his like brief action sequence was really cool because it just stunned a lot of dudes.
It was really cool.
And we also got to see like the 3 young mutants learn their powers, kind of.
Yeah,
Like
I
that was
suppose
cool.
so.
Like we got to see like Jean Grey testing her limits and stuff. I thought that was really cool. But other than that, it was just like, okay, we're wasting time here basically.
Pretty much. It's... If you really wanted to see Wolverine, there you go. Wolverine's in the movie. I feel like it was a studio's show note. Get Wolverine in there somewhere. And they just couldn't fit him in. And so they just created this inconvenient plot with Stryker coming to take them away so they could set loose Wolverine. And, like, all of the main cast had united at this point so they could go take down Apocalypse. And then half of them are captured and taken by Stryker, and the other half secretly follow them. And then they're all back together and they just take a helicopter from Stryker's base to go fight Apocalypse anyway, when they could have just, like, made their way to Apocalypse from the Gifted School for youngsters. Like, so many names. I feel, yeah, like, as cool as it was to see Wolverine fighting all those guys, and while I can appreciate that the younger kids sort of learned to deal with their powers a little bit more, you could have done that anywhere else. Those learning to cope with the powers parts. Like, that's what the school is for. And the Wolverine fighting sequence is purely fan service. It doesn't serve the story at all. It's just there. Yeah. Like, it's really cool. I really enjoyed it. But it was just blaringly obvious to me that it serves no function. It's just there to get butts and seats. And it doesn't even work because all they show in the trailer is Claw. So, like, yeah, it doesn't serve the movie at all.
Yeah, and then the other like spoiler down point is that unlike previous X-Men movies, there's very little social commentary.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Yeah,
Like the first few, like the original trilogy was absolutely dripping with it. First Class and Days of Future Past had their
they had
parts.
strong things, but like the more to serve the story than anything else.
Yeah, well here it's kind of just like
Yeah. The only
whatever.
Yeah, the only X-Men movie I would say doesn't have any social commentary at all is Origins Wolverine.
And the Wolverine, which you haven't seen.
Yeah, I suppose not. But that one tells a solid, tight, standalone story.
I thought you haven't seen the Wolverine.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Oh, okay.
It's just, not in a while.
Oh, okay. I thought we were talking about
Apocalypse has themes, but they're
Yeah.
very, very much in the background.
Yeah, like there are themes of
they're
like
barely
of like
touched on.
of like false worship and things like that, and almost like deity worship and stuff. There's like, but they're very quiet. Like those are hard to
Yeah,
explain,
they're more
and they
referenced.
don't really focus much on them at all.
They're more referenced
Um,
than focused on. It's not like a traditional X-Men movie in the sense that it's like really making you think about how this applies to us in the real world. Like gay rights movement, AIDS pandemic, issues of like social justice and belonging. You can go on. Race, obviously, like there's a recurring one there. Fear of the other.
Yeah.
Not so much here. Like I was kind of hoping that they would really take a religious spin to it. Like, how does religion fit into the world as we use it today? Can we worship a god? Do we worship false gods already?
But there was so much happening in this movie.
There was
that
a
just
lot
would have
happening.
Just been like, just like what? Just like, just
And I
really,
suppose it would have been
confusing
hard
and
to do.
convoluted.
I suppose it would have been hard to do a religious social commentary without being really on the nose about it.
Yeah.
And so I can appreciate the fact that it was more subdued than way over the top. So,
And they made some
Yeah.
very brief references to like the continued plight of mutants. Like Raven talks to Professor X in one
Yeah.
scene, saying like, Professor X is like, things are getting better. Things are only getting better. And then Raven's just like, no, I've been in Europe this last decade, and they're like, set up like mutant fight clubs in like Germany. So
It's awful.
Just watch yourself.
settle down, Charles.
Yeah. And like when Angel and Nightcrawler have their first fight, they're in like they are in a mutant fight club, and Nightcrawler doesn't want to fight, and Angel's just like, dude, fight or they'll kill us.
Yeah, okay.
Like it's like brutal stuff. Like it's
real.
It touches on it. Yeah.
Um,
Also, this movie not very PG-13. There are a lot of deaths in these movies.
particularly
And
once
moments.
Wolverine's there, it's like
Not even like the part where Mystique tries to slice Apocalypse's throat open.
because he's not bleeding, you can see all the flesh and
Yeah,
the
like
way
the
his
muscle
skin's
under it,
pulled
yeah.
back and the muscle
Yeah, it's pretty
underneath.
bad.
Like I completely forgot about that, but you're right.
And then in the
it's-
opening
it's pretty
sequence, that,
brutal.
like people get like disintegrated, and you see like their skeletons and stuff,
Yeah,
and like they're on
absolutely.
fire. Like it's just
when
like
people get like pulled
Yeah,
into
people
the
get
walls
crushed.
of buildings.
yeah, and like people get
By
like so like
Apocalypse.
smashed and like crushed by like
Yeah,
falling
definitely.
blocks and stuff. Speaking of opening sequence, awesome opening sequence.
Oh yeah, dead set. Like you spy straight into it from the beginning.
Yeah, it's very different to what we've seen in any previous X-Men film. Like previous X-Men
Yeah.
films have had opening sequences, but not like this.
Yeah.
Like it's really telling us about Apocalypse's law, and already starting that false god stuff. Like you see, like the guards look at each other,
Yeah.
like the guards betray him, even though he has mutants on his side, and it's just
And yeah, and then the horsemen start fighting them, calling the betrayers false gods.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a wonderful opening first sequence, and then obviously once that finishes, you get your opening credits with that killer soundtrack. I freaking love the soundtrack that they use in these movies. From that opening sequence to then the opening credits, you're just like, yeah, let's do this.
And that's one of my
I'm
favourites.
totally keyed into this movie now.
Opening credits so far, because they went. It was like
Yeah, it was
it,
a little
was like
different
it was
to
like
most
going
films.
down like a tube, because they usually do stuff with the brain in
Yeah.
X-Men, but this is like going down like a tube of history where like we saw like major historical events from ancient Egypt all the way up to our present day, not even the movie's present day. It goes
Yeah.
well past the 80s, and we see stuff from the modern day. So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
What else?
God.
Like great emotional moments. So like
When
when
once
Magneto's
Eric's family dies. Yeah.
dies, that's great stuff.
I very nearly cried.
Yeah.
So it's not quite as emotionally keying into you as some of
Some of
the
stuff in
top
First
tier
Class.
movies, especially not. Yeah, First Class is very emotional.
But it's crazy because like.
But no, it still gets to you. Like
Yeah.
it's not you're going to cry. It's that bad, but it gets really, really close.
Yeah, because that whole thing is like Magneto's trying to do it Charles's way. He's trying to just be part of society, and it just and he gets caught out because he tries to do a good thing. He saves someone from dying where he's working, and that's what leads to his family dying. It's brutal.
It's tragic. Yes, saves a life, has two taken from him.
It's crazy.
And then Apocalypse shows up, and it's just like that's.
It totally just like taps into all of that and like totally molds him into this awesome horseman.
Super weapon.
Yeah. And all that destruction you see in the trailer, that's Magneto. That's Magneto.
Yeah,
that's not even
this isn't Apocalypse.
That's Magneto doing
Apocalypse could not. He needs Magneto.
Because Magneto's already
if he
technically...
hadn't found out about Magneto, I don't know what he would have done.
Because Magneto's already technically an Omega level mutant. But this is another level. Like, this is crazy. He's like tapping into like the Earth's magnetic fields.
Well, Apocalypse amplifies his
powers. Yeah, I realise that, but like with Apocalypse's help, he's able to like tap into like the actual Earth's magnetic fields and
pulling the
influence,
metals out of the ground, and like keeping like because like the core of the planet, it's solid. We've got a solid core, don't we?
I'm pretty sure we've got a solid core of iron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he could theoretically move the whole planet, or even rip the core out of the center and just destroy the whole planet like that. It's
cool. It's cool stuff.
It's very cool.
He's also got an awesome metal shield at the end as well. That's cool.
Oh yeah, like the little aura around him, and not even Quicksilver could get through it. It's really special. Quicksilver. I would have liked to have seen. I've got to finish this off. I was talking about Quicksilver's character arc.
And it's him trying to come to terms with Magneto being his father.
And I thought, like,
Even
once the movie
though
started, I thought, oh, okay, Magneto's family is dead. He believes he's got nothing to live for. Quicksilver's going to come to this final fight, and Quicksilver's going to reveal to him that he's his son. And then Magneto's going to realise he still has some family left.
And he's going to turn.
Yeah, he will turn on Apocalypse and save them all.
That's not what happens.
No, yeah, exactly. It's all about Mystique talking about how she's still with him, how Charles is still with him, how the whole X-Men school is still there that he can help, that he isn't alone yet.
Also, I love how quickly the Horsemen just betray Apocalypse.
Yeah.
I mean, Psylocke doesn't. Psylocke just leaves.
Kind of angrily, too. What's she so angry about?
I don't know. Angel dies quite unceremoniously.
Does he die? Oh, yeah.
He's in
Apocalypse kills him. Oh, no.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah.
He's in the plane when it goes down.
Yeah. That's right.
Which is pretty crazy. And then Storm turns as well. Storm just watches a solid, 10 minutes of the fight, just looking shocked, and then joins in and turns. Yeah. It's pretty funny.
Well, I mean, because once Apocalypse starts attacking other mutants...
Yeah.
It happens very quickly, but it's also justified. You can believe, they're going to turn on him now. That's not cool. This dude's just a dick. He's just got his own agenda.
That whole transference thing was a really great way to explain Apocalypse's powers.
Yeah, absolutely.
So he probably just started out as a mutant who can probably... I don't even know what his starting mutation would be, but he... Over the centuries in ancient world, he just transferred into other mutants to just gain more and more powers, and eventually got an awesome healing factor right before he was buried.
Yeah,
it's good stuff.
It'd be interesting to explain how those mutants could have existed, and then sort of disappear for millennia. Maybe that explains witches in medieval ages and stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely. There are all sorts of stories you can tell with mutants in medieval and Renaissance.
But for the most part, it's just very quiet. It's every mutant was really good at hiding themselves.
Cleopatra was probably a mutant.
Oh yeah.
All these historical figures you can say with mutants. If JFK can be a mutant, then anyone can be a mutant.
Yeah. Oh, I love that, by the way.
Right?
The fact that JFK was...
Did you ever go to that website, that really long conspiracy theory website? How cool is that?
Fucking awesome.
Yeah, you know what this movie didn't have? good marketing.
Yeah, no, this movie had
Because always on
really
TV were
bad
those
marketing.
stupid V.
I didn't see anything on TV.
Those VTV spots with Quicksilver. Like, this is
I only saw
Quicksilver
those.
on film.
I only saw those in cinemas.
Oh, I saw them all the time on TV.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I don't actually watch that much TV.
That's true. I watch a lot more.
Okay,
than I do.
there you go.
Yeah, that's but like I don't. We never got trailers or like actual TV spots. Not even before movies.
Yeah,
It,
And
Really-
I feel like that's
it's really
hurting
fake.
the movie because it's not making as much money as it probably deserves to make.
I mean, movies only been out for 2 weeks, and it's all and you can't see it in VMAX cinemas anymore.
Yeah,
We had to go see
it's
it on
just
a
not
small
performing.
screen.
And like, to be
It's
fair, we were part of the problem because we didn't go see it as quickly as we would have liked to have. But we were
it
just
wasn't
really
out last
busy.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, exactly. As opposed to if it had come out this week,
Mm.
I would probably see it twice in VMAX.
Mm.
Not in regular theaters because I just hate those seats. Okay, hate's
I
a strong
I
word.
didn't find out.
They're not as
They
yeah.
weren't too-
Hate's a strong word, but they're not very comfy.
Man, this is a great apocalypse review talking about
Yeah,
cinemas.
cinemas.
Um,
we could talk about that in another episode, but yeah.
Should we talk about Jean Grey?
Yeah. Dark Phoenix 2.0. Not really.
No, not Dark Phoenix. Dark Phoenix and Phoenix are separate things.
Yeah,
You've got to
sorry.
keep that in mind.
Sorry,
At the moment,
sorry.
she's just Phoenix, I
Phoenix.
reckon.
I don't know that they'll do that story again, because I don't know that everyone would be okay with the fact that you're just telling a story that, while not told well, was still technically told in X3. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how they do that. Do they do it again? Do they reference it as an event that still happened in the new timeline? Or do we just ignore it?
I don't know.
It's just
I think,
cool
I think,
Easter
it's,
eggs
I
for
think it's
fans.
just acknowledging that Jean Grey is like super hella powerful and it's
Yeah.
something that everyone will have to keep an eye on.
Definitely.
She's pretty nuts. Yeah.
I think that covers pretty much everything we want to talk about.
Scott Summers arc, very briefly.
Oh, yeah?
Like, what's his older brother's name?
Alex?
Alex Summers.
Yeah.
Or Havoc from First Class.
Yeah.
And very briefly,
The
Days of
dude that shoots lasers
Very
out
briefly,
of his
Days of
chest.
Future Past.
Where?
In Vietnam.
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh, yeah!
Yeah.
Raven. That was him. I totally didn't even realise.
Really?
Wow. Yeah. All this time.
How many times have you seen that movie? You've seen that
A
movie like
lot of
3 or 4
times.
times. Yeah.
No, like closer to 10.
Why? Okay. Anyway. But yeah, like
'Cause I like it.
that's him.
I like that.
That's Havoc.
Yeah. Like, I totally see it. I just don't know why I didn't notice it the first time. He comes back. He dies.
Gets off
and
pretty quickly.
relatively quickly, yeah. And then, yeah, but that just kickstarts the whole Scott Summers arc. And, like, suddenly this guy that we've only just met, we have an attachment to.
Yeah.
And it works really well. It's just like, no, my brother's dead. This is going to fuel my entire character. It's like, okay, my brother's dead. That really
Let's live up.
sucks.
Let's
Yeah,
live up to being
it.
an X-Men.
Yeah, exactly.
And he kills it.
Certainly does. I thought the mental fight between Charles and Apocalypse was fucking awesome.
Oh, that was rad.
Like, it's
That
just
was really
them
cool.
inside each other's heads together, just like going it
And it's
out.
funny because like
yeah.
Charles goes in like super cocky. He's like, "Oh yeah, I'm inside his head. I could just like end him." And Apocalypse just like grows to like 10 feet.
Yeah.
Which is a reference to his size changing powers in the comics, but this is
Which
only
we don't
this
get.
is only mental projection.
Yeah.
And but he just like beats Charles a lot, and then Charles is like, "All right, back up, Jean. Let's get in here."
Yeah,
and
I was
then
like,
and then
Jean
Jean
is
just walks
watching him
in,
the whole time, like, just
doing
both of you fighting at the same time. You'll win.
and
It's
then
2-on-1.
And then just Jean walks in,
Waits for
and
Charles
just,
to get beaten,
and
and then
just
tries
like,
to
and then
solve.
just basically just destroys you mentally.
Yeah,
It's
mentally,
pretty cool.
and then physically as well.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, she just kind of destroys him on all fronts. It's
She
kind of nuts.
levitates as well.
Yep.
That was very obviously CG. Like the way she was clearly still walking on something solid when they were trying to levitate her. I was just like, okay, whatever.
Yeah. It's kind of like Indiana Jones in the Last Crusade, when he's like walking out across the canyon there. Oh god! But I loved it. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an excellent. Not an excellent movie. It's a good movie. It's a very fun time. It's a good time. It maintains a lot of what makes the X-Men franchise special. There's all the talks, send the Fantastic Four back to Marvel. Spider-Man's gone back to Marvel.
X-Men's very safe in
X-Men
Fox
is
for now.
very safe in Fox's hands right now. I don't know how they screwed up Fantastic Four so badly, but they know what they're doing with the X-Men franchise. This is another solid addition, and I'm more than happy for it to stay where it is. It's just so wonderful to see. I'm giving the movie a 7.5. Very nearly gave it an 8, but I'm going to give it a 7.5. It's a very good movie. Not just it was fine. It's a very good movie.
Yeah.
Ed?
I'm giving it an 8.
You're giving it an 8? Alrighty.
Better than Batman v Superman.
Yeah, definitely. I think you got to flip a coin between Deadpool and Civil War. It depends what mood you're in, which one you want to watch. Really?
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Yeah, probably. 9 days out of 10, I'd pick Civil War, but then Deadpool is a close second. This movie is third for now. Batman v Superman, unfortunately, still sits at the bottom of the pile for the comic book movies this year. I believe that just about covers everything that you want to say. If you want to have a chat with me and Ed, you can find us at Twitter. I'm at BenjWaters01. That's BENJ, water with an S on the end, and then 01. Ed's Mr. Spaghetti22. Yep. You can also talk to Ollie Pusey. That'll be really funny. Just like, hey, movie talk, Ollie. He'll just be like, what? Does he even check Twitter?
Not really.
Don't tweet Ollie Pusey.
It's at Oliver Pusey.
At Oliver Pusey. You can find us on YouTube by we don't have our own official URL yet. If we get to 100 subscribers, we will.
That's a challenge.
Yeah.
For them, not for us.
Yeah, no, it is a challenge. So, search us in the YouTube search bar. We're the first channel.
Probably
Time
already
Working
here.
Title Productions. You are probably already here.
I'm not uploading this one to Facebook.
Oh, okay. Oh, alright. You're already here. Click the subscribe button, please.
How long it is.
We'll have our own YouTube URL. Oh, wow. It's fine. We'll edit it down. You will. Subscribe. Eventually, when we get 100 subscribers, we get our own URL. And then I'll say that at the end of all these episodes. If you, for some reason, found this on Facebook, despite the way that its posts work, you can find links to our Facebook page. You can like our Facebook page. That's facebook.com/working title YouTube. Thanks for watching this video. Comment, tell us what your thoughts were. Get talking to us about the entire X-Men franchise. Ed's getting bored because of all these formalities I said at the end. Like the video. Share the video with all your friends, all your parents, all your pets. I don't know, share them, please. That would be really appreciated. Get talking. That's what these videos are all about. And until next time, thank you very much for watching.